saw was the depiction of a crime scene, and we are so desensitized to crime and violence. When we see a scene on an OTT series or we read about it in the book, um, we immediately start thinking, who killed her and why was she killed? It no longer stays a heinous crime, it becomes a whodunit. After all, we all love a good crime story. In 2012, I was very blessed to be part of the team that created a show called Savdhan India. It brought back the popularity of true crime and crime on Indian television, along with another show that I wrote and produced called Crime Patrol. नाम तो सुना ही होगा. So it reaffirmed the one thing is that we all love crime stories, right? In July 25, this year, Ormax Media published a study about the top viewed original streaming shows on Indian OTTs, right? In the top five, out of the five, four of them had crime as its content, as in the core content, right? In number one was criminal justice, and number two was Ek Badnaam Ashram. Number three was Panchayat, which is the only show that did not have any, crime. Then it was followed by uh, Patal Lok and then Squid Game, right? Do you sometimes wonder why we love crime so much, right? Do you sometimes wonder if I told you that we have been loving crime since the time we started reading as kids, right? You don't believe me, do you? Okay. Noddy. You've read Noddy? Yeah. Noddy's car gets stolen. What's that? A crime. Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, Secret Seven, Famous Five all solve cases of kidnappings, thefts, burglaries, crime. Sherlock Holmes, Feluda, Bomkesh, Marple, Poirot, even Tintin and Captain Haddock are solving crimes. And Harry Potter, his fate is intertwined with a double murder, that of his parents. We've been primed to love crime since the time we have started reading as infants. And also crime is a forbidden zone, right? We want to find out what makes good people bad. What makes them cross that line? And that's why today we've started this talk with a crime. For the next few minutes, you and I are going to investigate this case. Layer by layer, motive by motive, suspect by suspect, we will go through this case and reveal who the killer is. This is anatomy of a crime. It's not just about the crime, but it's also about how we process the act of crime. Relations, are you ready to solve this crime with me? Awesome. Let's get down to it. Okay. So, to find out who the killer is, we must know who the victim is in the first place. The victim is Seema, 20-year-old, lives in a multi-generational household, not good at studies, like me. And she has dreams, ambitions, friends, but her life gets snuffed out in her own house and by someone she knows. This is a closed room case. The killer and the victim are inside one house. They live together. How does Seema know this person? If you've been watching carefully, if we go back to the beginning, when the person enters the room, she looks up, smiles, and goes casually back to the phone call. There are no shrieks of alarm, of seeing an intruder or a stranger coming into her room. It's someone she knows. Let's find out who the suspects are. There is the father, there is a house help, there is an uncle who lives in the house, there is her mother, and there is her grandfather. Right. So now you've seen their faces. Right now, when you've seen all their faces, who do you think could have killed Seema? Right? Let's have, and you've made up your mind who the killer is, right? जैसे हम सावधान में कहते हैं कि क्रिमिनल कौन है वो शक्ल पे नहीं लिखा होता. Right? To find out who the killer is, we must dive deep and find out what their relationship is with the victim to know their motives. Right? So let's now deep dive into the suspects. First, the father. The father is an alcoholic. There you go. The father's an alcoholic, and he's not too happy with her grades, has extreme bouts of short temper, and is a violent man. Could it have been in a fit of drunken, uncontrolled rage that he committed this crime? Right? Next, we've got the house help. Now, Chandan has been working in the house for a while, but he has itchy hands. And Seema caught him stealing and threatened to tell the family about it. At which point of time, Chandan threatened her, saying if she exposes him, he will kill her. Did Chandan commit the crime to save his job? Next, we've got the uncle. The uncle is a good for nothing guy, stays stays in the house and lives on handouts from his elder brother. And Seema's mom is obviously not too happy about it. But what the family doesn't know is that the uncle had tried to molest Seema 2 months ago. Seema was so shocked and horrified, she did not tell the family. Instead, she wrote it down in her red diary. Could the uncle be the murderer who's done it to save his reputation and, of course, keep living this easy, cushy life? Then there's the mother. The mother herself is a victim of domestic abuse at the hands of her husband, and she finds the red diary. And what she reads completely horrifies her. Could the mother may have misjudged her daughter and committed the crime? Now, she doesn't tell what she read to the husband because she was scared of the adverse reaction that might happen from her short tempered husband. Instead, she goes to the patriarch of the family and shows him what she found out. When he reads it, the grandfather is enraged, horrified. Is it the grandfather who's done it perhaps to save his younger son? Now, now we have a rogue of suspects. They complete a huge gallery of suspects, and now we know their relationship with the victim. We know that everybody has a motive. Now, who could it be? The thing is, right now, what's happening is that it's the tricky part because you have decided who the killer is based on human bias, right? And the interesting thing is, if you've looked around, each of your choice is different because you've based your choice of killer on your own personal experience, your own subjective experience, the logic of your own story that you have concocted inside your head, right? And it's all different. And the fact is, all of them have plausible, reasons to commit the murder. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have some fun. Okay. I'm going to remove three because A criminal must always have alibis, right? So three people are going to go out of the story. Who thought it was the father? Well, the father was dead, drunk, asleep. He had no clue what happened. So, father out. Servant? Well, the servant went on leave a week ago, fearing that the girl was anyway going to snitch on him and he might lose his job and end up in jail. He's gone. Who thought it was the mother? Well, the mother. Why would she do it? Because she anyway did not reveal it to her husband, fearing adverse reaction. So then why would she commit such a heinous crime? So now you've got the uncle who's got a secret to bury, and you've got a grandfather. Now, lights up. As a crime writer, it's always my priority to keep the viewer and the reader engaged, and therefore we use a lot of misdirection, a lot of red herrings in the story. So in this story, I have left a few red herrings, and if you were sharp enough, maybe you've spotted it, right? So there's a twist. So yes, Seema did write in her red diary. Fact. The mother did discover the red diary. Fact. But she did not read about the sexual assault that had happened. In fact, a loose piece of paper fell out of the diary. And that's what she took to the grandfather. The grandfather read that piece of paper and was angry. That piece of paper was a love letter. Seema was in love with a boy from a lower caste. 2 months ago, the grandfather had told her to break off the relationship, right? She said yes, but on the night of the murder, she was talking to Rohit, the boy on the phone. If you remember the call, the broken phone. So when the grandfather walked in to her room, he completely got enraged and then decided to take matters in his own hands and do an honor killing to save the honor of the family. So, if you guessed that the grandfather is a killer, well done. But listen, I get the last one because I twisted the motive, right? So I hid that as a red herring, the love letter and the relationship. That was the breadcrumb. But interestingly, just look at just what happened, right? You reacted or you processed the crime and the motive and the suspects based on just partial evidence, right? Because as humans, we love joining dots, we love patterns. And that's why we love true crime, because we always think we can solve the crime. Just, but I'm sure that you're relieved that what you saw was just a dramatization, right? But as we do in Savdhan and in Crime Patrol, we shake the audience up. And that's what I'm going to do to you now. Is that what you saw happens every day in India. This is the reality of the crime around us. Radhika being beaten up by her husband. Yep. So that's the stat up there, which is from the National Family Health Survey, shows that 32% of ever married women have faced sexual, physical, emotional abuse at the hands of the husband. Seema being assaulted or groped by her uncle. In 2021, the NCRB data revealed that 94% of the reported rape cases involved a known perpetrator. The murder of Seema, a woman. The NCRB 2023 reported 448,211 cases of crime against women. That's almost 51 complaints every hour, and almost one complaint every minute. Just because Seema's story may be fictional and it doesn't happen to us doesn't make it entertaining, right? When we see crime around us on screen or in a book, it may appear to be a fantastic, wild, whodunit entertainer. But in reality, true crime is something that destroys lives, not just of the victim, but also of the perpetrator and their families. One act of murder kills many, right? So when we go out there in society, let's be satark and savdhan so that we see the people around us and we take enough precaution. If we are satark and savdhan, perhaps we can stop the next crime from taking place. Right? I want to thank the Shivnada University for asking me to speak to you, and I want to really thank the team behind putting this together because you guys have done a fantastic job. So lots of love to you. Be savdhan, be satark. God bless you all. Thank you so much.